Welcome to The Gorgeous Effect. I'm Julie Chanel, and with my co-founder, Cathy Olson, we're about to drop some serious tea on how to create funnels that not only look amazing, but actually convert into customers. It's time to show the world what you've got. Let's do this. Hey everyone, this is Julie. Welcome back to The Gorgeous Effect. I am here with Cathy, and I am running on 4 hours of sleep after my Instagram account blew up yesterday. So I think we're probably just going to talk about that. And I'm going to let Cathy take the lead here because I am so tired. I don't know how people with a big following manage their social media. It's just so overwhelming.
I don't either. I mean, I guess it's, when it's like your whole business and stuff, but and I know some people have help and obviously, you have automations and stuff, but I don't know. Yeah. So with Jessie Jean, this is for anyone who's been living under a rock, welcome to Earth. I highly doubt anyone that's listening doesn't know about this, but um Julie's worked with Jessie Jean in the past and then kind of worked with her again, and she's been doing her own launch. So she hasn't really said much about Julie. Julie's kind of mentioned a few times. But I noticed you've been kind of quiet about it. I haven't been quiet about it. I'm like, she's using FG funnels. This is amazing. But either way, we don't have that much of a reach. But then Jessie finally kind of spilled the beans and said, hey, by the way, Julie's the one that's been doing, that's been helping me coach. Not to say that, she didn't earn all of her success at all. I know
Right,
you were,
right, of course.
yeah. But anyway, she gives you a shout out, and then Julie's starts getting all these DMs and messages and stuff like that, and then has to rush around to like fix up her Instagram to like look half decent, I guess, ready for, not sheep, but for people, and so that's kind of
Yeah.
where I guess we're finding you today. This happened yesterday or the day before?
Yeah, so this happened yesterday. So yesterday I was so busy with calls. And like you said, I had been talking quietly about some of the work that I was doing with Jessie, but I was really not super loud about it. I was letting Jessie, decide when she wanted to say anything, if anything. And so I really wasn't prepared. And I was on a million phone calls. And then, I had my Instagram open on one of my monitors and I noticed that the little like notification button started going. And I've been stuck at the same follower account for like 5 years. I mean, it's like I win, I lose, I win, I lose, So it's been stuck at like 17,000 or something like that forever. I'm like, that's really unusual. Like I don't run ads, and I'm like, what's going on? And so sure enough, I went over to Jessie's stories and she had shared my reel. She'd reposted my reel about her and then she shared the reel in her stories. And from 1 p.m. yesterday until this morning, it has been hundreds and hundreds of followers, DMs, emails, private coaching applications, like just absolutely bonkers. And I don't have like a very like well-managed Instagram account. So that's what Cathy's saying. Like the irony is like I'm a business and marketing coach and my Instagram account kind of sucks. And that doesn't suck. It's just not optimized, right? I just show up on Instagram and just say whatever I want and people like it, but it's like, and so I've got, it wasn't just Jessie, but it was other people, like other clients of mine who are way better at Instagram than me with way more followers. They're like, Julie, you need to do this. You need to put up a post. You need to welcome Jessie's people. I'm like, you're right. You're right. You're right. So I'm like rushing around on Canva and trying to like find photos. And I'm like, what do I share about the last 10 years of my freaking train wreck of a life? Like, I want it to be important. I want it to be helpful. Anyway, so then I put it up and realized about 5 minutes later, there were three spelling errors in it. And then I was like, you know what? It is what it is. So it's been really fun and I'm really grateful and I'm excited to have all the new people, but it's just funny. I didn't feel prepared. And all I could think of last night when I was not sleeping was how the hell did Jessie manage her Instagram account while she was launching? I just like, I do not understand how she did that. And if she's got drugs, I want them.
No, I thought the same thing, and she's still doing it though, to be fair.
I
She's not
know.
she has like a whole thing, a whole program to run and
I
videos to
know.
make, and I
And
don't understand
17
how
million
she's
students. I
sleeping
know.
because I have trouble, keeping up with stuff. And I swear, anywhere she's tagged, and you got to think about this, right? She has whatever thousands of people. She had, I don't know, 5,000 people or something in the first cohort, and then another 12,000 now, and they're all tagging her, and she's sitting there like commenting on every post. I'm like, who? What? you have like f found a wormhole or something where you can clone yourself or go back in time or pause time or I don't know what. I have no idea. Like I have
Well,
no idea. And because and the comments aren't just like likes or like thumbs up. They're like really thoughtful. And I'm like, I have no idea. I don't know how she's doing it, but we'll have to ask her someday or get her on a podcast or
I
something
know.
to explain how the
I
heck she
did.
does that. I have no idea.
I messaged her. I messaged her this morning. I was like, I understand why you asked me to help with the emails now on launch too. Obviously I'm a good copywriter and stuff, but she was like, Julie, I'm drowning, and I was like, I feel it. And in
Yeah.
like, a fraction of a percent. Now, to give myself a little bit of credit at the same time, I have two other companies that I run plus a sheep farm. So, it's not like I'm not just running one business. So I think there's also some of that because I think for me as a business owner, I'm always like optimizing for three things. I'm optimizing for what's the highest leverage activity I can do to make money. I'm optimizing for what is going to help with the commitments that I have to my team and current clients. And then whatever's left over, I give to social media.
Right.
So I give 10% to social media and I give, 80% to clients and team and maybe 10% to like high leverage sales activities and then 10% to social. And so in the last 24 hours, I had to like reverse that for a minute, but I can't do that long term. So I'm gonna have to figure something out.
Well, so I think the takeaway is that you need to have your social ready just in case ever.
Just in case.
I don't know. I mean, I think I'm obviously paying a lot more attention to social. It's like taken over my life at this point. It
I
feels
know you've
like.
been, yeah,
It's been for me, it's been adding a whole other job. Like I feel
it
like I
is.
have two jobs now, like two full-time jobs now. And of course, FG comes first. So if ever there's a FG thing, everything I'm doing for content gets put on the back burner because it's not really making money at this point. I'm just trying to build it. But I think the coolest thing about it for me, if I can kind of look back on it, is that I haven't been challenged in a while like this, and I
Mm.
haven't hustled in a while, to be fair. Like, I think that after whatever, I don't know, 8 years or something it's been, I don't know, longer, I can't remember anymore, that we've been doing FG, like, you get into your routine, what you're used to doing, and it gets easier and easier and easier. And having a team, it gets easier and easier, right? Like, hopefully, obviously that's the idea of having a team. Hopefully your life's getting easier. Um, but I just feel like I'm in grind mode right now, like hustle mode, and I haven't been in a long time. And at first I was kind of whining about it and not wanting to do it. And then I was like, everything we've done has been hard. Like I had someone asking me, "Oh, is this hard to, be posting every day and stuff?" And I'm like, "Yeah." But I was like I think Abby Grace is doing it too, and I was like, and I said, but becoming a photographer is hard, becoming a
Mhm.
coach is hard, building digital products is hard, building funnels is hard. Like all of this stuff was hard.
Yeah,
Do we
like
not?
just choose your hard.
I was like, do we not remember that none of this was easy? And so of course, why would this be? So that's been helpful, and I think I'm finally at the other side of it where I'm starting to get some good feedback. Like everyone I talk to, they're like, I saw your post or your videos are so cool or like it's starting to like show for it.
Yeah,
So this is when it's like okay, fine, like the hard work is paying off
the
and I
hard
feel
work is
like but
paying.
it's funny I've been optimizing over here. You haven't been and then yours gets all like, the spotlight up. But I'm like, "Okay, but now you're getting called out. You got to do it too."
I am getting called out. Like you're a marketer and yet you're not really marketing very well on Instagram. I
Yeah.
had someone in my DMs and you made me think of it because you're talking about, grinding on social and these are all like great problems to have. I just want to like set that
100%.
intention. Like
100%.
Jesse's problems are great problems to have. My problems are great problems to have. Your problems are great problems to have. Like none of us are in terrible work conditions and like having to do things that are going to hurt us physically or
Right.
mentally. So I just kind of just to set that gratitude point. But someone DM'd me and said, I just want to know that it's going to work. Like, I'll put in the work if I know it's going to work. And I understand the sentiment because if there's one thing I don't like in life, it's uncertainty, right? It's like my tolerance for uncertainty is very low. But that's the game. You don't actually know. But I think there's some good news there. I do think that the people that don't quit the people that are willing to start new accounts, the people who are willing to change their offers, the people who are willing to, hire coaches, throw away funnels, start again. The people who have that kind of grit eventually hit it. They eventually find something that works for them. But the thing you're doing right now today, you don't really have any certainty. And that's the name of the game is whoever can tolerate uncertainty the longest usually ends out on top.
Yeah, and Jesse even talks about having the why because you have to have something sustain for all of those times when you're like, I feel like I'm wasting my time and this isn't gonna work, and you just have
Yeah.
to do it anyway. There has to be like the why, I think, but I also think you just have to choose that you're gonna do it while it's hard. I
Hmm.
think that like with anything, like what you just said about, do you have any like indication it's going to work? No. And never ever, like we never have any indication, even if we have past track records like we talked about in the past. We're about to launch something and you're like, I really don't know if anyone's going to buy this. And we're like,
Yeah.
everyone else would be like, of course they'll buy it. But like from our perspective, we never know. Like we never ever 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 know something's going to work. We just have an educated guess. And we also are we're in enough to make it work. Like to, to go, okay, well, if it doesn't work, then we'll do this. And if that doesn't work, then we'll do that. Like you just kind of make plans on it not working and then how long you're going to be in it. And sometimes it doesn't work and that's fine too. Like, it's just,
Yeah.
but I think that, even with social, like I still haven't, you guys, I haven't even hit 1,000 followers. So we're not talking about like any mass success whatsoever. But I'm finally getting it, I think, and it's finally clicking with me, and that's all that matters. And now it's just a matter of time. So in my brain, it definitely will work for us for to get to grow my personal brand, but also Funnel Gorgeous. Now that I've am ready, I think. But
Yeah.
I also do think that there are pieces of luck that you need to be prepared for. So like what happened with Julie, or it's currently happening with Julie, like it literally just started yesterday. It's probably gonna get worse. Sorry, um, but it's like you have to get prepared for when that does happen. So I think that's like once you're prepared and you're ready, then it starts to happen. Because
Yeah.
yes, like there is the grinding and there's the building, but there's also sometimes there you get a whoosh and then you have to
Yes.
be ready for the whoosh. So that's kind of where I think we're at with this. Yeah.
Yeah. And, for those of you who are feeling like, well, gosh, I just want some certainty, I think the cure for this is not certainty, even though that's what you think will cure it. What's the cure is trusting the future version of yourself to handle whatever the outcome is. And that is something that I am learning in other areas of my life where I have extreme intolerance to uncertainty. I mean, that's essentially what anxiety and OCD is, which I have both of those lovely things. And so, for example, in health, I have a lot of health anxiety and I have health OCD loops, and I hate the uncertainty. And I've had to learn that if I can just trust that the future version of myself can handle it, it dials down the noise and makes it more likely that you are going to, you're going to push through and not need certainty in order to keep moving. And so for any of you guys who are just starting out in business and you are, waiting for the moment where everything pops off, I just want to tell you, like, I've been in the game since 2012, right? It's 2026. It's been 14 years, and even with that, I've just passed 20,000 followers on Instagram in 14 years, all right? So, I mean, I also, wasn't trying super diligently, but just like get a why that's bigger. And I'm not just talking about for Instagram. I'm talking about for anything you're doing in business. Like Cathy said, just get a why that's bigger so that you can push through the uncertainty and the discomfort of not knowing the outcome.
Yeah. And I do think it's helpful getting help from people who know what they're doing
For
so that
sure.
you
For
so
sure.
that you don't flounder as much as you can, but also if for nothing else that they to borrow their belief. How many
Yeah.
times have, digital insiders come to you or people from Funnel Gorgeous come to us and they're like, "Are you sure this?" And yes, run the play. I
Yes.
can't tell you how many times that is the thing that keeps you going. It's someone else that you trust to be telling you the truth, right?
Yes.
Because your friends are not the same because they're like, you're doing great. but like someone who actually knows their ish and they're like, no, you're there. You're like right there. You know, like that picture of someone like digging a hole and then like the gold's on the other side or whatever. And you're like, I swear you're right there if you just push and you're like, okay, let's push, let's go, and that's what you need. And so I can't say enough because that there's been so many times I would have failed if I didn't have someone telling me I was
And
almost there.
that's an interesting point because there's someone I'm thinking of that you and I both know very well who was ready to quit on an idea, an offer, something that she was really passionate about. And I had to stand in the gap while I mean, she's the one who brought the persistence, but I had to stand in
Yeah.
the gap and say, no, this will work if you just keep at it. And it tested her patience and it tested my faith too, because I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm over
You're
here
like,
telling
I'm
her
pretty sure.
I'm telling her it's going to work, and it's like we're like 34 weeks in and it's still not working, and I'm like, no, it's going to work, and I had to trust my own intelligence, my own intuition. It
Yeah.
did eventually work, and now it's working
Yeah.
fantastically well, and she is having great success with what started out as nearly 9 months of difficulty. But yeah, that's what's waiting on the other side of all that discomfort, all that tolerance of uncertainty, all that grinding. So hopefully you have good people around you. And thanks as always for listening. And if you are new to the Funnel Gorgeous world, Cathy and I are very excited to have you in our community, and we will chat with you soon. All right. Thanks, guys.
Hey, gorgeous. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. And if you're thinking, okay, but what now? We've got you. So, just for listening today, we want to give you a gift. Head over to learngorgeous.com. We're going to grab some free resources, free trainings, this month's specials, and everything you need to keep going. Until next time, make it gorgeous.